Aye.
Okay. Any oppositions, abstentions? Now we'll move to the minutes. If folks had a chance to look at the minutes.
Chair Gilmore, Cynthia Jordan just joined. Could you please repeat who moved and who seconded for her minutes?
It was moved by Dr. Clark and seconded by Lily. Okay, I look for, do we have the minutes? Did we do them? There was the minutes there?
The minutes were a canceled meeting.
Ah, okay, so there's no minutes then, right? But we would have had to approve the other minutes, right? Not the cancel. Because we weren't there for that meeting, so we would have had to approve the other minutes from before, whenever that last meeting was, right?
Yes, that's right.
Did we get those? You know?
We can do that retroactively at the next meeting.
Okay, all right, so I don't need a motion. We can move right now into the public comments. Each person will get 3 minutes. So anybody who wants to speak on the public comments.
I would like to speak.
Okay, go right ahead.
Hi, I'm just gonna reiterate what I've already did before, that we want to see the One-Stop Youth Resource Center come to North Richmond, and also the museum that Dr. Clark would really like to see happen. So I just want everyone to keep that in mind, that we want to work toward that, to that end. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other person with public comments?
Chair Gilmore, I do see a hand up.
Okay, Cordell Hinder. Yes, please. Go right ahead.
Oh. Hold on. Hold on.
Are you having some difficulty? We can't hear you if you're on mute or Cordell.
Yes, I'm right here.
Yeah, do you want to
Can you hear
speak?
me okay?
We hear you now,
Yes. Yes, so good afternoon, Chair Gilmore, board members. I have some fantastic news to share with you all. You are cordially invited to attend the Council of Industries Shoreline Tour on October the 8th at 1:30 at the Harbor Masters Building, and it's free. We're going to have the Blue Angels be performing for us, and it's a lot of fun. You get to rub elbows with the elite. That's one. And then second of all, hopefully that we will be in person again, because I don't mind the Zooming and all that, but I want to see faces, because the Zoom thing is starting to get on my nerves. So hopefully we'll be back in the building next month. That's all I have.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
I have a question for Cordell. Is this this with the Council of
Yes, ma'am.
Industry? Is this going to be?
Correct.
Are they going to go out on the boat, or is it? Where is it going to be?
Yes, it is.
Okay, is it
It's gonna
that
be-
invitational?
Yes, it's by invitation only,
Okay.
but you have to RSVP by September the 17th.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else with public comments? If not, we're going to move to our law enforcement agenda. Is let's see, the Sheriff's Department.
Good afternoon, everyone. Lieutenant Buford here from our base station that covers the area. You guys are down from the month before. You had 290 calls of service. Last month, only 262. It's been relatively quiet. We know we did have a couple shots fired calls down there, but we don't think that anyone particularly was targeted. We think those guys are just shooting. We have actually identified a suspect in that. So we're actually in the process of trying to actually just locate the individual, but we do know who it is. We told about 12 cars out of there, abandoned vehicles that's expired regs and things like that. And then a couple of individuals did get arrested for warrants. Other than that, my phone hasn't rang for anything, so that's a good thing. And like I say, overall, I pretty much ask my sergeants all the time, and it's been relatively quiet. It really has. It's really good. With that, I'll open it up to the board for any questions.
Yes, Dr. Clark, Lieutenant Buford, thanks a lot for the report. Where was the shots called at?
Okay, 1 second here. We had one over at Rancho Market, Richmond Parkway in Pittsburgh, and then Market in Truman.
Okay. It seemed like, Dr. Clark again, it seemed like that it's some regular shooting, whether someone is hit or not over at the Rancho Market.
No, yeah, over the Rancho Market, no one was shot. A couple of vehicles got hit, and that's about all with that. We know that Rancho Market does have a history, you know.
Okay, any other questions for Sheriff? Thank you so much for your report.
Thank you.
All right, is anyone from the Highway Patrol here? And anyone from the Police Department? It's Richmond PD. I know you were going to check on both of those, Robert. I don't know if you got any feedback from them or not.
Yes, the invitation went. I thought they'd be here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're going to move on to the presentations, and first presentation is Dulce. Dulce here? Dulce?
I believe she
Dulce.
is, and
Yeah, there she go.
I'm gonna, if you don't mind, Chair Gilmore, I'd like to briefly bring her on. Dulce is here, wonderful. There's a big piece of news for everyone here. You may or may not already know, but Supervisor Joya, who always takes a great deal of caution and time in thinking about his next appointment to this body, the MAC, has made a selection of Dulce Galicia, and he's very proud of it. Dulce is a longtime North Richmond resident, and she is a leader who has done extensive work in the community, most recently with Richmond Land, and prior to that with Healthy Richmond, and also in developing strategies and plans to improve our community. Dulce is a very smart person. Her leadership is fantastic, and we are sure that she'll make this group even better than it already is. And we're really delighted to have her with us. Dulce, please take it away.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it. And so good to be in this space with my colleagues as well. I know I have about 3 minutes, so I'm going to quickly share a short presentation I have. I thought it would be really nice to sort of introduce myself. So my name is Dulce Galicia. I come to this work with both an international and a local context. I've done various different research in various different countries around water management, as well as community development and housing development infrastructure for Indigenous communities. I really care and I am interested in a lot of different things, just housing development, community leadership and decision-making, care and rest in the social justice work, especially for organizers, transformative education systems, and the list goes on and on. I'm just a passionate individual. In 2018, 2019, I managed North Richmond's quality of life plan. And then I went to grad school to get my master's in public policy, all with an effort to really support the community that I live in, North Richmond. So really excited for this opportunity. I decided to accept the invitation and the role. I consider myself a newer resident to North Richmond with 6 years in this community, and deep respect for the people who have lived here their entire lives. And so I've, like I said, worked on the quality of life plan, reached out to over 100 community members with the support of other community members as well. And North Richmond is home. This is where I have my heart. And even though I do love to travel and see other places, this is the context and the reality in which I live in and I want to support. I also joined the MAC because I want to learn from my fellow colleagues and lead with my fellow colleagues for this community. And lastly, I only have 3 slides. Oh, something's happening here. This has been my phone number for the past 15 years, from the time I've worked at Building Blocks for Kids to Healthy Richmond to now Richmond Land. Feel free to reach out to me. Texting is okay too. And as Robert mentioned, I work for Richmond Land. We are a community land trust doing development projects in Richmond and unincorporated Contra Costa. But it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you all for welcoming me.
I know I speak for the board, but welcome. We look forward to all what you bring to the MAC board, and it's going to be exciting with everything that's going on in North Richmond to have you contribute your talents to the leadership here. So thank you very much for being part of our board. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move on to a presentation on the Richmond Library tools.
Hi, thank you, Donald. My name is Jessica Walden, and I work with Andy Sanchez and Stephanie Nye on the North Richmond Mobile Tool Library project. And I have a very brief presentation on what we have accomplished and where we are right now. I don't know if I need to have share screen privileges. Robert, do you know, or Donald? Can I go ahead and just share my screen?
Yes, you have privileges. Please do.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. I need to get to something that's behind this.
Is it your email? You can click on a different tab.
Yeah, so I just have a PowerPoint presentation behind this.
You could probably just
I think the Zoom tab is
lower that.
the Zoom toolbar is right over this.
You could probably just close it.
Yeah, or send it down on that, make it smaller and it'll go away. Too. Clicking on the, not where the Xbox is, but right to the third one, and it'll go down. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Okay, here we go. Great. So this is a presentation on the North Richmond Mobile Tool Library. And for those of you that don't know, this is simply a trailer full of tools that is going to be brought into the North Richmond community. People will be able to check out tools free of charge. So what we did was created basically a needs assessment report is just a survey. And what we wanted to do was ask the North Richmond residents what they wanted out of a mobile tool library. We wanted to know what they needed, how they would use it, where they would like it, what time it should operate. So we just wanted to find out what the residents of North Richmond would actually use. This slide, utilizing past data. This refers to how we approach data from people for the survey. And what we did was we mimicked the same outreach methods that we had used for the logo survey. And this was a very brief survey where we designed a few logos that the North Richmond Mobile Tool Library would use, and then we just asked people for their feedback. And we voted on, we selected a logo on what people wanted. And so how we reached out to people, we used social media posts. We went canvassing door to door in North Richmond. We did online surveys that people could fill out online. And we also did mailers, hard copy mailers that we sent out to people. The preparation for the survey simply lists the items we made to implement and conduct the survey, including the marketing materials and the promotional items. So we did some customized little tape measures that you can see up here. We did a sticker. We made some customized tool bags and filled them with tools. We did 3 of them, and these were giveaways for people who filled out the survey, and we then did a drawing. So these were just some of the items that we created. The planning, this involved simply finding out when and where we wanted to physically canvass. This was just setting dates, finding places, and figuring out how to go about getting the word out. So in the upper left-hand slide, you can see those were just the dates that we went out and canvassed in North Richmond. And we also hung some posters, and my coworker Andy visited some places where people gathered, like the Shields Reed Community Center, places where he could reach a lot of people at once. So this slide, this was just the canvassing and outreach. For those of you that were at the National Night Out, that's the upper right-hand picture. That's simply our table. We were there with the survey. We got a lot of people come up and ask us about the library. And yeah, and so we just wanted to get the word out about the mobile tool library and find out some key pieces of information. Slides 7, 8, and 9 reflect the results of the survey and what we found out. The pie charts you see on the left, this the total amount of people that actually filled out the survey. So that was 137 people that we reached. And when we filtered out only the people that lived in North Richmond, the number came to the right-hand slides, which were 115 people. So what we found out was there is the very bottom slide on the right-hand side. This was 150 responses, Richmond residents, and about 98% of people were interested in using a mobile tool library. This slide was a summary of the different types of tools that people were interested in using. So yeah, a lot of interest in gardening, a lot of interest in power tools, which is great because we have a lot of those tools. You can see for yourself what people are interested in, and I don't think we have a single automotive tool, so so we have our work cut out for us. But this gives you an idea of what people are interested in, the types of tools they're interested in. And this slide, we suggested several times, weekdays, weekends, early, later. A majority of the people were interested in having the library operate on the weekends from 9 to 2. So 47% of people were interested in having us be open then. Yeah, so basically this is just a summary of what I just explained. And our next steps, this is a picture of the 7x14 trailer that we own. And this Saturday, me and several people are going to start installing the storage and organizational systems so that the tools can rest in place in the trailer. So that's just a picture of what it looks like now. Not very exciting, but that's the trailer. And yeah, so we hopefully this Friday we'll be getting a delivery of materials. Saturday we're going to work on configuring the trailer, and then we are in progress with rebuilding East Bay to get the shed constructed. That's a little bit of a larger project than this Friday's trailer configuration. So with that, that is the end of the North Richmond Mobile Tool Library presentation. Please let me know if you have any questions. And thank you for your time. If you want to reach us, you can see our email here on this slide here. And yeah, and please, any questions you have, nothing is too dumb. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah. Cynthia.
Yes, Jessica,
Yeah.
my question is, you said you have a trailer and a shed, right?
That's the end goal. Yeah.
Okay, so have you decided where you're gonna store the trailer, and also where do you store the shed?
Yeah, so they're gonna be at the same place. The shed is being proposed at the rec yard down on McDonald, you know, where the city parks all its trucks.
Yes.
That is where the trailer is gonna be built. I mean, excuse me, the shed is gonna be built and the trailer will park inside the shed so that it'll be extra, so that the tools will be extra safe and the trailer won't just be sitting out full of tools somewhere. So yeah, that's where they're both gonna be.
Mhm. And so as far as coming out to North Richmond, I see you have a map with several locations, proposed sites. Have you decided where you're gonna come, where you're gonna park it when you come out to North?
Yeah, so right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up somewhere on Fred Jackson Way. My manager Stephanie is currently in discussion with people, Urban Tilth, a few other groups, to figure out where the best site is to actually park the trailer. So it's gonna be somewhere on Fred Jackson Way, and that's what the people who filled out the survey were interested in location wise.
Right.
We're also going to offer a service where we will deliver tools curbside to people's homes.
Okay, because on the survey, I have suggested Chesley and Fred Jackson Way at the McLaughlin Temple parking lot. That's like a central location, and Chesley is a third way, a street that's, and so is Fred Jackson Way. So you got two streets there that's well traveled. And so that was just my,
Yeah,
suggestion as far as location.
yeah, that seems like a great place, but I don't know the details right now. Stephanie's working on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Dulce?
Yeah, to add to Cynthia's question, is there an inventory list of the tools that will be available, and will residents be able to check out the tools online, or is it through a phone call? I'm just wondering how that'll come to fruition. And then lastly, are there enough funds to acquire? I thought it was really interesting, the bar chart of what ranked high in terms of what people wanted you all to purchase and acquire. Are there enough funds to purchase some of those, or do you feel like there will be a deficit, or how do you plan to go about that?
Yeah, those are great questions. The first question is, so a lot of lending libraries use this software called iTurn. It's free, and that's what people use to check out tools. So this software allows people to look at available inventory, reserve tools, check out tools. And so what we've done is we've entered all the tools, descriptions, images, etc., for all of the 140 tools that we currently have in inventory. And when we're ready to roll out, literally like drive the trailer out full of with tools, we will open up that website, the North Richmond Mobile Tool Library website, and so people can browse the inventory online. Yeah. And then the second question, I think that with the funds that we first got in 2018 and then in 2020, the inventory that we have right now, I think we won't add any other tools. We're going to see how this all flies. We're going to see what people really use, what people end up wanting. We have a wish list going for things that people have expressed interest in. So I imagine when there are more funds available, we will continue to build the inventory. Yeah. Any questions? Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Chair Gilmore, you're muted. And I also want to bring to your attention that CHP Officer Abernethy has joined us, if you'd like to get his report.
Yep, that's what I was saying while I was muted. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good
Can
evening.
anybody hear me?
Yeah, good evening.
All right. I apologize for being late. My name is Officer Abernathy. I'm with the California Highway Patrol out of the Oakland area office, and I work here in North Richmond as a community-oriented policing officer. For those of you that don't know me, I just wanted to open it up for any questions or any comments.
Yes, this is Dr. Clark. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Nice seeing you.
Yeah. My concern is that I think that like I know on the like on the weekend and sometime during the week down on Dubose and Battery Street in that particular area. People just double park and park in the street, you know, and really, you know, not concerned about people trying to get through. And I think that if they at some point seen some highway patrol presence passing through that area, know that they were going to be passing through at some point, that they wouldn't be parking in the streets and double parking like they do.
Yes, sir. I am familiar with the area, and I work during the weekday, so Monday through Friday timeframe. On the weekends, I will pass that on to our weekend shift supervisors and see if they can't get a body down here and patrol those areas and just be a presence in that location.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead, Berta.
Anyone else?
Hi, this is my name is Berta and I live here in North Richmond. And my question is, I have seen that at the Delta's land, they dump trash already, I think like three to 4 days ago. And I would like to know to who we can call to clean it up.
Janie? As far as
Yeah, that would be
where did he,
mitigation.
yeah, where did you say the trash is located? Where are they dumping?
It's where the preschool is, the Head Start school.
Okay, that's the housing authority. So they're dumping near the, it's not on the streets, it's up in there where the housing, where the Head Start is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
that's something that we would need to report to the housing authority. Tony? Okay, so I have noted this and I'll get in touch with the housing authority tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any more questions for,
Alvarez, as far as the dumping goes on with the highway patrol or the sheriffs, usually that's something that if we see in progress, we can cite for that. Otherwise, we do pass on that information in order to get it cleaned up.
thank you. Any other questions for Highway Patrol? Thank you, Officer Abernathy. All right, we're going to move on to our next presentation, which is the Fence Line Arts project. Anybody here from there? Okay, we will move on to the transportation plan.
I'm sorry, Chair Gilmore, I believe that is a presentation for Princess Robinson.
Oh,
Princess?
the fence line, yeah, it doesn't have a name, but
Hi, Robert. No, I'm not giving the presentation, but I have been engaged in this project for a long time. And I think maybe he missed the invitation to the MAC meeting tonight. So maybe he can reschedule.
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Princess. County Active Transportation Plan presentation.
Good evening, council members and those who could join us tonight. Thanks for having me. Jeff Valeros here, Associate Civil Engineer over at Contra Costa County Public Works Department. Before I actually delve into the Active Transportation Plan when I'm presenting, there is a mobile citizen app. If there's ever garbage that's reported on county road right away, you can always go to our mobile citizen app and you can take a photo and report that. And then that's something maybe our Public Works can also take a look into, our maintenance division. So I'll post a link to that in the chat after this presentation. Okay, so back to the active transportation efforts and why I'm here today. So Perhaps I should give a very quick recap of what my group does here in Public Works. So in my group, specifically within the Transportation Engineering Division, we work on scoping, prioritizing, and securing funding for capital projects along the 660 miles of county roadways. So such projects include multimodal projects for those who choose or must bike, walk, or roll for their commute or for recreation. I'll share my screen in a second too of our website, which is our one-stop shop. So some context of our current bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure. Approximately only 10% of the county's 660 miles of unincorporated roads have bike facilities. Regarding pedestrian facilities, we have locally serving networks that connect residents to local destinations, although we recognize that there are gaps in such networks. And so while we do deliver bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure each year, we acknowledge that our active transportation network is far from complete. So recently, the county had received a grant to prepare its first active transportation plan from the California Department of Transportation, Caltrans. So this plan will allow the county to look at our bicycle and pedestrian networks holistically to determine where to prioritize our future capital improvements. And so county staff, such as myself, along with our consultant, have reviewed numerous documents and efforts such as Contra Costa Transportation Authority's County Bicycle and Pedestrian Plan. There were general plan update efforts known as Envision Contra Costa that I believe some of these members may have participated in before COVID had hit. As well as I heard the mention from, I believe you'll say, the North Richmond Quality of Life Plan, which is a very well-written document that I had read. So, however, with any plan, it's still very, very important we recognize that we still receive community input in case there's anything we've missed. So, that said, if I can share my screen. So activecontracosta.org is kind of our, as I mentioned, the one-stop shop to kind of get any updates as to where our active transportation plan efforts are. Here's the overview of kind of the whole overall purpose of this planning document. I'm going to jump to our timeline section. So unfortunately with this grant, we are on a pretty accelerated schedule. We didn't really start our efforts until April, and we have to have this planning document by February. So I apologize if there's any haste or if you feel like this, feel like we could have probably reached out to this community probably sooner if time was allowing it. So as the part of the first phase of the project, we had received input through a web map and a community survey on our website. And I'll point to that in a second, as well as we held some virtual community workshops. We really wanted to do this in person, but fortunately due to COVID, we had to go virtual. But we are looking, as things are getting a little more comfortable, we'll see how things are in a week. We're going to try to look for in-person events. And we do have one or two about lined up around this time. So where we are now is after gathering community input, which we're still, even though we have this timeline on this map, we are still gathering input at the end of the day. Our consultant is working on their recommendations. And then we're going to go have community workshops where the communities such as the North Richmond MAC can offer their input on these proposed projects. So jumping back up to the top, we had, as I mentioned, we had an interactive web map that we had closed because we have to move forward as part of this grant. I'm working with our consultant to at least put the map up because not many folks know the distinction between unincorporated and incorporated. You go from your home to your destination, and that's what's important to you. So we still want to hear that feedback, even if it's within a city. There is a survey that's available. Oh, and I apologize, I forgot to mention. There is an option at the top right for Spanish speaking folks if they want to go for that option. So regarding the community input, there is a survey, and I would greatly appreciate if you folks took the time sometime in the near future. And on this survey, you can kind of voice your needs and how comfortable you feel walking or biking in your community. The survey should take about 2 or 3 minutes. So let's see, I think that said, kind of where we are now is as I mentioned, the consultant is working on those proposed projects. And hopefully sometime in the next meeting, MAC meeting, a month or 2 out, we can come back and present what those proposed projects are to gather your input. We also want to promote this website, so you might see some decals on those newly constructed curb ramps that kind of hopefully graphics. And this will be on the sidewalks and the new curb ramps. So we really want to get community input for these planning efforts. So if there's any questions, please feel free to ask them now. I'll put my contact information in the chat. There is also the ability to sign up for notifications. I promise we won't spam you. This is pretty much, we'll let you know when the new planning document is released. So yeah, with that, any questions that the MAC may have?
Yes, this is Dr. Clark. Thanks a lot for the presentation. Are you the department that I think that we were told, and Robert may want to help me on this, that we were supposed to have do some street improvements on not let me see, what's that street up there? One of the main streets in North Richmond, but then we were told that that was going to happen, and then I think, Robert, you reported that the funding for that project didn't go through.
I believe you're referring to Market Street.
Yeah.
Jeff,
Market.
I know you have more detail on that.
Yeah, so we had not secured grant funding from Caltrans. It was the Active Transportation Program. That's what we had secured funding to do the Fred Jackson First Mile, Last Mile. But there is potentially an augmentation of these ATP funds. It's stuck in Sacramento right now, and they're kind of working out the surplus of those funds. So we're hoping maybe in 2 months or so we'll hear good news, and we can move forward with that Market Avenue project. And I remember presenting to the MAC as to what the community wants. And if I recall, it was the unanimous support for widened sidewalks.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you were the one that gave that presentation?
That was me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as I hear the good news, Robert's probably gonna get the email within the next minute or two to hear back from the funding.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Dulce, yes.
I'm wondering if this is connected to the circulation element in the general plan, or how will it be connected, if any? And yeah, I appreciate Dr. Clark's question about the last mile or first mile, last mile, but just questions around the connection between what you presented around the active Contra Costa, and if it will be included in any of the general plan plans or elements.
That's a great question, Dulce. So the general plan, it's a very just broad visionary document, but it doesn't really get into prioritization of projects. So it takes that input from the community, and it puts kind of the wish list as what they want on that general plan. So the active transportation plan will conform to what we have stated in the general plan, if that answers your question.
Right. Any other questions? Hearing none, thank you so much for your report.
Looks like we have one from Robert, who's actually our, my apologies for not introducing you. Robert Sarmiento is our transportation planner at our conservation and development. I didn't see you there. My apologies, Robert. But
No
he's been
worries.
help on his end to help with these planning efforts. If you have anything to say, Robert.
Yeah, I just want to add, and just want to follow up with Dulce's question. Just one thing to note, that currently the county's Department of Conservation and Development, they're in the process of updating the general plan, and I'm sure, or they've reached out to North Richmond. I'm sure maybe some of you have attended those meetings, and just to connect both this active transportation plan with the county's, the general plan circulation element. This update will definitely include more language, stronger language about active transportation, complete streets, things like that. In regards to complete streets, which is, to consider, all users, whether it's pedestrians, bicyclists, people who roll. Yeah, that will be a major update or component of the circulation element. And this active transportation plan will help the county meet that goal or policy that's in the circulation element, that will be in the circulation element.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay, well, thank you again for your report.
Thank
And we'll
you.
be looking forward to hearing from you later. All right, let's move on to the agency reports. I have the City of Richmond Community Service Department. Someone here from the City of Richmond?
Chair Gilmore, I think that you may have, did Gianna Burke's historical
Oh,
legacy?
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Ms. Burks, I see you right there. I just missed it. But yes, a very important history and legacy of
And
you want to give to us.
Degina Burks, my mistake, Degina.
Hi,
Ms.
I'm
Burks,
not
yes.
getting a very good picture today. I don't know what's happening with my screen, but I wanted to first of all say good evening to everyone. I'm here representing the North and Greater Richmond Blues Foundation, and we have been very busy this summer. We have 3 different programs that we offer with the foundation. The first program being a program called Paint and Vibe, where people have the opportunity to paint to live music. And we've done that once this summer. Then we also have a project called Blues Out North. And we've had 3 different holiday blues jams. Each Saturday, we've had them out in North Richmond. They've been well attended and people seem to have really enjoyed it. They were outside, so we followed protocols per CDC. So I feel like we were able to have these events without having a problem. And then the other program is called Richmond Music Legends. And for our first music legend, we chose Mr. Jimmy McCracklin. As most of you know about Jimmy, that he was very well known in the community and really all over the world. We lovingly refer to him as the blues ambassador of Richmond, California. But he spreaded the music all over the world and even had a song that talked about coming to Richmond, California. So his daughter, Sue McCracklin, asked me a couple of years ago about us doing something special to honor the 100th anniversary of his birth, which was August 13th. So with the COVID and all of the things that were going on with that, we weren't sure if we were going to be able to make it happen. However, we were successful in getting it planned and having it to happen. On the 13th, the city gave the McCracklin family the key to the city, as well as honored Jimmy McCracklin with a proclamation and giving him a day each year to celebrate. So I thought that that was very nice. And so that Friday evening, we had a special performance by his daughter, Sue McCracklin, and her backup singers. They used to work with Jimmy, called Sweet Nectar. And they gave a wonderful rendition of some of Jimmy's works. And we had Jimmy's favorite foods. We had dinner. And then we also had an opportunity to sing and do a champagne toast for Jimmy McCracklin that evening. It was well attended, and the mayor came out and he was there for the entire event. He stayed through the food and everything. So that was a nice thing that happened. For the event, we partnered with the Richmond Museum of History and Culture and the East Bay Center for Performing Arts. And what the Richmond Museum did was, along with what Sue was able to contribute and things that I was able to find, we built a beautiful exhibit of his works. He had 4 gold records and he had all types of awards. We had some of his clothing, his instrumentation, So it was at the museum for 2 weeks. It ended the end of the month, and we had pretty good turnout for that. So that was something that we did that morning early, where we had the presentation, and we talked about Jimmy and gave some history on the blues music in Richmond, along with Jimmy McCrackin's contributions. And the Golden Gate Blues Society, as well as the West Coast Blues Society, participated in that event. Then that afternoon, we had a concert that was at City Hall in front of the Richmond Auditorium. And Mr. Joya came out, and there were quite a few people from the city that came out to the event. So it was well attended. The Richmond Public Library, as well as the Art Museum, also participated that day on the Paint and Vibe table that we had for people to paint and color with. I'm very proud of this event because I worked hard to make sure that we honored Richmond people. So I can truly say that everybody that was on the show is connected with Richmond, either was born here, grew up here, or lives here now. They have worked in the music industry for a lot of years, all combined, and they were excited to be able to do that. We made sure even the security team was from Richmond. So it was important to me, it was important to people within the organization that we began to showcase Richmond in a positive way. So one of the things that came up out of all of this, and this is the final leg of what we are planning, and this is for the future, is we've approached the county to give us a street out in North Richmond to be named after Jimmy McCrackin. Now we need community support to do this. So far at all of the events that we've been doing, we've been collecting signatures, and we have over 200 signatures now. But what I would like to do is to offer to come to different events and bring the petition out so we can continue to reach out to the community to get the support to make this happen, because it is at least a year-long process that we have to go through to make that happen. John Joya is interested and supportive on this initiative that we're trying to make happen. And I have left I'm going to put my email address in the chat here. So if you want to send me an invite to your event to come out and table and bring information about what we're trying to do, we would love to be able to do that. And that's pretty much what's going on with the North and Greater Richmond Blues Foundation.
Thank you. Such a great thing that you're doing, and to preserve the history of what took place in Richmond is very important, not only but now, but to future folks who pass by this way. So I commend your effort on what you're doing. I know Henry's been very enthusiastic about wanting to do some more stuff in North Richmond. So I'll let him speak to that himself, but I just want to commend your effort on what you've been doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Donna. Good evening, Degina. The congratulations on the great work that you've been doing. I had the opportunity to attend the event at the City Hall, which was a great program, and I would say that in terms of recognizing Mother Jimmy McCrackin, you very well know that, in terms of our joint work in the North Richmond Music Festival, we put on one of the early shows in North Richmond.
Very first show. the very
Yeah.
first show.
Yeah, yeah, to honor Jimmy McCracken, you know, and all of that. So it's really great that the continuing work that you've been doing to give the wider recognition to Jimmy McCracken family and the work that he's been doing. So that's great. Congratulations. I would ask, in terms of some of the surveys that you've been doing, have anyone indicated any particular street that as a suggestion for the effort that you're talking about in naming the street after Jimmy McCracken anywhere?
Well, I've heard different people say different streets. I don't know. I feel like I would love to see it be Chesley, simply because Chesley is a dividing line. Not as many people actually live on Chesley as the other street. So it wouldn't interfere with people's personal addresses as much. But I think that that's something that will have to be decided by the community, not me. It's just what I would like to see.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, that in terms of that street, Chesley, I mean, that may not be a bad idea in the final end. But like you said, the people will
Yeah, they'll decide.
decide that. But it is where you know the Savoy Club was located at, and where Jimmy McCracken performed a lot. And I remember, you know, that he used to have his bus, seeing his bus parked there, you know, when he was performing. And so, you know, we'll see how that works out, but certainly a good effort.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, any other comments or anything? Thank you so much for presenting to us.
Cynthia has.
I'm sorry, Cynthia, go ahead.
Just like to commend Regina on her work, especially during COVID. These programs and events that Regina is doing, she's doing it in the midst of COVID, to where people like me and Henry choose to stay around the house during COVID. So she's like on the front line and putting off these events. And as far as Jimmy McCracken, I'm like Henry, I was trying to think what street should be named after Jimmy McCracken. He performed at the Savoy Club a lot, so that's on Chesley. But I also know when Jimmy wasn't performing, he liked to come to North Richmond and hang out and party on weekends. And back in the days, we know North Richmond was a pretty rough place, especially for your car unattended. You at the club partying, and my father had a wrecking yard, and Jimmy would come to our house all times of day and all times of night on weekend looking for car parts when somebody had ripped his car off for something. But and I understand Jimmy may have had a club down there on Grove Street at one time. And I just wanted to put that in, but especially a special thanks to Regina for going forward.
Yeah, Dr. Clark again. Yeah, and he used to stay there at the Fraser's Hotel in North Richmond when he would be performing in there at the Savoy Club.
Yeah. So
Dulce had a hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say this is beautiful and also listening to all the stories. I just have two questions. This is curiosity. You don't have to respond to it now, but I'm wondering what was Jimmy McCracken's favorite foods, since you did mention that. And then secondly, how many signatures do you need? And do you need like street specific signatures? If that's part of the application. So, for example, you do want to rename Chesley, if you need like, I don't know, 50 or 100 signatures from residents on Chesley.
Well, right now, we're just really in the early stages, so I'm not quite sure what the best way this is going to work out, but I am working with Robert and John Joya on this because we would like to see it happen. And I have no problem of coming back to the MAC and giving updates because I think that this is something that's important. Just like Fred Jackson Way was very important to our community because of his activism within the community, and Jimmy McCracken was the music. So for us to have the opportunity to have those two, of course, if it were on Chesley, then they would cross each other. Fred Jackson Way and Jimmy McCracken Way, they would cross each other. So I will see how it moves along, but I wanted for people to know that I am willing to come out to any type of event that you have, and we can talk about it and spread the word. And my email address is in the chat room. And also I wanted to say that I do know that the museum is working to put on a presentation of North Richmond. They want to have a nice exhibit. They've already been collecting quite a few things that I've seen. And I feel like if people pull together, because I think it takes a village to do something like this, maybe we can have a beautiful exhibit that ultimately could become a museum out in North Richmond in the future. But we got to build something together first, I would think. And why not use our museum? It's there for us to use.
All right, thank you. Robert, you had your hand up? Or no?
Yes, thank you. I want to just say two things. One, it can't be stressed enough how incredible the work Degina Burks did on these events at the museum and at the Civic Center and others over the last month. She'd been working on this for like a better part of a year, and it was a tremendous undertaking. And these events were just a delight in our community coming out of COVID, especially.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And fortunately, there's photos and videos everywhere you can look at. Also, we really want feedback about where to put this street. So put your thinking caps on and send emails to Degina or talk about it now. But where to put the street is a crucial question. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your presentation, and let's keep the momentum going for the effort. All right.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move to the City of Richmond Community Service Department. Anybody here from there? I don't hear anybody, so we'll move to Robert. No, I'm sorry. We'll move to Healthy Richmond. Anybody from Healthy Richmond have an update? If not, we'll move to you, Robert.
Yes, before I go, I want to make sure, Marco, is that you? Marco Lemus, Healthy Richmond?
No, Marco with Urban Tech.
Oh, apologies. Okay. Well, update. I want to start by noting that one of our own longtime community leader, and of course our stalwart minutes taker, Cynthia Jordan, has been honored with a key leadership position. She was selected to serve on a county board and commission to look over the disposition of the Los Deltas projects. This is a vitally important role, and her selection came after much deliberation by housing authority leaders and others. And it's a great honor, and we know that she'll be able to discharge these duties in the best possible way for the community. Cynthia, did you want to say a few words about this?
There isn't too much to say. It's an honor and it's a privilege. That's the 2 words I have to say. And I look forward, it's the Board of Commissions, and I look forward to serving on the Board of Commissions. As you guys know, I live in public housing now, and I've never lived in public housing in my entire life, but I'm out here in Oakley, and I've got a nice location where I live at, lots of pretty green grass, backyard, the whole 9 yards. Getting the little flowers going and everything. And it's very peaceful out here. It's so quiet and peaceful. You go all day and don't hear anything. I'm off the street. There's no street traffic or anything. And I look forward to being on the Board of Commissions. It wasn't something I was trying to get involved with, but when I came out here, I started doing a few activities within the community that I live in, and it didn't go unrecognized. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate being acknowledged and being recognized. And all my work in North Richmond kind of paid off out here. So that's the way it goes sometimes. And thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Some more good news to share. I'm sure most of us, if not all, have been seeing what's been going on in North Richmond. An unprecedented improvement in infrastructure, road quality. All roads are being resurfaced in North Richmond currently. And at the same time, all curb ramps at all intersections are being rebuilt and made ADA compliant. The roads and sidewalks and curb ramps in North Richmond are going to be the envy of the county. And we're really excited that's going on. Concurrently, the Fred Jackson Way project continues. This is a $4 million project improving the biggest street in North Richmond all the way to the urban farm. All of this being done by the incredible team at Contra Costa County Public Works. So it's really fantastic, and it's something that's going to be a benefit to North Richmond residents and community for years to come. More good news, the Brookside Shelter, homeless shelter. We are targeting that now for a November reopen date. The shelter is being reconfigured for COVID protocol safety, and we're hoping that it can be reopened. Obviously, conditions can change, and if they do, it's possible that date could change as well. But if things go as well as they can, we could be reopening at that time. Obviously, in the meantime, I want to, as I always do, urge everyone to get vaccinated. We are having a spike in Delta variants in the community. We do have, I believe, a couple dozen people in ICU. We had 20 deaths last week, and virtually all of them are in unvaccinated Contra Costa County residents. So we need to get the vaccine, and we need to reduce the spread, and we need to continue battling this virus. Unfortunately, the light, although it's at the end of the tunnel, the road, it does not appear to be anywhere close to being completely over. Also, when and if the Brookside Shelter is able to reopen in November, we would expect to alleviate a lot of the pressure on large homeless encampments at the creek and other sites. In particular, the one at Castro Street, that's in the city of Richmond, but it borders unincorporated North Richmond, has become more problematic recently. There have been fires, there are safety concerns and sanitation concerns. Fortunately, a lot of North Richmond residents and activists have played a big role in liaising and keeping an eye on that area and working on potential solutions. The city of Richmond also has made funding available, And the expectation is there may be a new idea for what to do with that Castro Street site. So keep an eye out. That could come to the next MAC agenda. But as details emerge, we'll know more. That'll conclude my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Robert? Letitia.
Hello, hi. Thanks for taking my question. I just for Robert. I love to see the road and how they look really nice now. But I just have a question. Is the work done on the roads on the streets? It's finished, or are they gonna come back and do something else, or is done? Because I noticed like there is some holes where the gravel is kind of loose. It's between, especially between Chesley, between I think Forest Street and Fred Jackson. There is some part, and in front of my house, I mean, I noticed some like holes with loose gravel. So I'm not sure if that's the way that it should look, or is this something that they are gonna come back and redo it, or is how it is gonna be? Thank you.
Thank you, Leticia. Really appreciate the feedback and the question. My understanding is the work is not done, and the expectation will be that it'll be better. However, it would be helpful if you see a portion of the work that's not done well or could be improved, please take a photo, tell me where it is, send it to me, and I'll send it to our crews to make sure we do it as well as possible.
Okay. Any other questions for Robert? Not. We will move on to CHDT's report, and I only have one update before I give it to you, Janie. And that is that we started work on the resource center at Heritage Point. Hopefully, we'll be done with the improvements in a couple of months. I'll be looking to come to you with some of the activity as forecast to be there. We're still finalizing those. And we're still in the process of raising resources for that site, but the work is being done to get the improvements there. That is my update. And Janie, go ahead. Unless there's any questions.
Oh.
Go ahead, Janie.
Okay. Good evening. So I am proud to present and introduce to the group our new community services coordinator, who is Victor Jimenez. He started working today. I am so happy. So he replaced Felisa Orozco. She moved into another department at CHDC. So Victor started today. He's had a busy day. He's been here since 8:45 this morning. I told him when he got started that there would be days that he would have to spend long hours. So he says, not a problem, not a problem, not a problem. So I'd just like to introduce Victor. Victor, you want to say hello?
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I'm pretty excited. This is my first time being here in this meeting, and I've been listening to everybody. Everybody has brought up really good information that I didn't even know about. I've been taking notes and everything, and I'm pretty excited to work with everybody.
Okay. So Victor, you are so welcome to be here today. So I want to give a few little updates here. First of all, we have the Willie Spears cleanup that's coming up on the 18th. It's going to be from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and it includes the North Richmond residents and the Triangle Court residents. So when you come, as you know, you have to show proof of your residency. So you can bring a photo ID, utility bill, or car registration with your home address on it, because this is for North Richmond residents only. We have 6 locations. We do no curbside pickup. So the dumpsters are located at Shields Reed Park, Garamita Street and Verde, 4th Street and Grove Avenue, 2nd and Market, Sanford and York, and Martin Drive at Parkway Estates. So we're also asking the seniors to call in by the 15th to make an appointment, because they will come out and pick up your items. To make the appointment on the 15th, and they'll be coming out on the 17th, the day before the pickup, to pick up your items. I want to advise the seniors, if you come out, if you put your items out, please do not try to put out tons and tons of items, because there is a limit. This, when the city come out, they try to pick up everybody's items that one day. So they will bring out a truck, but hopefully, and last time we had it, we had people who would come, they had so many items to be picked up. The city had to use 2 truckloads for one house. That is way too many. If you have any questions or concern, just give me a call and I can help you out. The other thing is, we are encouraging people to participate in the cleanup. North Richmond have 2 cleanups a year. The rest of the city have, now this year they're going to start with 1 cleanup per community, but we have 2. So we encourage people to take advantage of it. We've already, the flyers went out with this cleanup. It went out the last of August. And today we sent out our newsletters. We completed the newsletters today, and the newsletters also inform you of the cleanup. So if there's anyone who did not get a flyer nor a newsletter, please contact me. And you can contact me at 510-760-3241. That is my cell number, and I'll make sure you get an agenda. With that, that is all I have for an update right now. Have any questions?
Looks like Robert's hands up.
Okay, Robert.
Hey, Janie, I apologize if I missed it, but I don't think I've gotten the flyer for the Willie Spears cleanup. Could you please send it to me?
I will send it to you again. I sent it to you because I thought it was going to be in the North Richmond updates. But I think it must have missed the deadline, but I will send it to you again.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Dulce, yes. Go ahead.
I have my flyer right here, Janie. Good
Oh,
to go.
thank you, Dulce.
My question, I was asked if toilet seats will be taken during the community cleanup, like the ceramics toilet seats. And I guess that wasn't clear on the flyer, but just wanted to know so I could relay that information.
You know what? I need to get the flyer, unless it was an exclusion. Unless it was said we don't do it, then we will do it. And I know there were some items on the flyer. You say you have your flyers. At the bottom of the flyers, it tells you some items we will not pick up. And if it doesn't say the toilet seat on there, then we will take the toilet seat.
All right.
And if I find something different, then I'll give you a call.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Any more questions for Janie? If not, is anybody here from Reach Fellowship? I don't see anybody. Then we'll go to Urban Tilt. I know Marcos is here.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Marco here for Urban Tilt with a quick update and also a request. But for the updates, we're just continuing to hire more folks, mostly people from Richmond, BIPOC people from Richmond. We just recently finished the summer youth apprenticeship program, which was a huge success. We had 20 youth involved, but normally we would have 40, but because of COVID, that's what we were limited to. And we introduced the Watersheds team as a site for youth to learn about. So youth were able to learn about creek conservation and all that good stuff. We continue to have the farm stand in North Richmond. where we give out free fruits and veggies, as some of you may have seen driving by on Fred Jackson Way and Chesley Avenue. We're in the parking lot of McLaughlin, sorry, I'm butchering the name, McLaughlin Church. And yeah, it's every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 o'clock. We are hiring for a bookkeeper still, and a driver for the CSA boxes, and logistics specialist for the CSA. I can maybe drop that link right now. And then we host volunteer 3 volunteer days every month. Second Saturdays is at the Greenway in South and Central Richmond, but we have the North Richmond Farm Day on the 4th Saturday of every month. But yeah, my request recently, we're trying to do these video projects to hopefully reach new funders and new people who can provide us with resources to continue expanding the farm and the construction of the farm. And so one of the videos that we're doing is going to capture the senior perspective of North Richmond, and hopefully that person, which Doria mentioned, she wanted Annie King to be the person, but if she's unable to, that's fine too. If someone else can do it, that'd be great. But just someone who can speak on what it's like living in North Richmond and how it's changed, you know, the history of North Richmond. I know there's like there's rich Black history here, and we just want to be able to, for people to see that kind of story that doesn't really get told quite often, and hopefully reach a wider audience and bring in like funding for these programs that we have at Urban Tilth, which will prioritize like North Richmond residents, North Richmond youth, and have the and it's all going to be designed and planned out by residents. So yeah, I don't know if Annie King is interested in being part of that.
You're on mute, Annie. Are you trying to talk?
It's still on mute. There you go.
Oh, good evening, everyone. I'm sorry. Look like everyone, I was on the phone, but I was listening here and there. I know Princess had tried to get in contact with me. I've been out of town with my granddaughter, with her. So I'm gonna have to get back with you all on that. Right now it's kind of touch and go with her being in school and COVID and the whole bit. I'm kind of on call with her. So, but anyway, thank you for the invitation, and you all are doing great work. As I've always told you, you always have been outstanding work. So what I'll do, I'll get back with you all and see if I can kind of meet with you at some time soon, because from the time that Princess had contacted me, I was out with my granddaughter, you know, taking care of her. Okay, so I will be getting back with you all, and thank you for the invitation. Thank you for thinking about me. Okay, all right.
Thank you. So yeah, like the way the video crew that we hired is, they're pretty strict on timing. So the only days that they can do it is this Thursday or September 27th. And they said if Annie King is unable to do it, then Dr. Henry Clark or Don Gilmore or anyone else from the MAC meeting who's able to do it.
Yeah, I think Henry definitely has more history than I do about the community. But if Annie can, I would see if Henry would be able to do it. Then you go down the list. I'm sure Annie and Henry have other folks they can refer to. But sounds like timing is a issue, so let's respond as soon as we can with that. Just appreciate it.
Question,
Yes.
Go ahead, Cynthia.
Marco, would you like to kind of like touch bases on the visit you had a couple of weeks back with the Congressman Salinger and John Joyer and Dorian out to the forum that day?
Yeah, I wasn't present for that visit, but from what I know, it seems like food insecurity got a bigger audience. Like the food insecurity problem in Richmond got a wider audience, and it seems like they were able to push Mayor Butt to do other things too. So I don't have specifics on it, but if you want, I can get back to you.
Well, I'm familiar with the video. I've seen it on John Joyer's Facebook page, but maybe some of the people in the audience this evening isn't aware of the fact that that particular, event did go down. Maybe Robert can fill us in on it.
Sure, it was a big event. Thanks so much. Congressman Jim McGovern from Massachusetts is the chair of the Rules Committee in Congress. He's a very important congressman. And his biggest issue is food insecurity, as Marco alluded to. And so he wanted to take a West Coast trip to see the kind of great work that's going on out here in terms of bringing healthier food to communities where food deserts and food scarcity and health have been concerns in the past. So for him to come and visit the farm for over an hour and get a good look at it, get it on his radar, his whole staff was with him as well. And he was also accompanied by County Supervisor Joya and Congressman Mark DeSaulnier as well. So 2 congressmen and a county supervisor and a mayor, and most importantly, Executive Director Doria Robinson of Urban Tilth, and many more, was a big deal, because what's going to happen is Congressman Jim McGovern, if you look him up, he advances bills in Congress to benefit exactly these kinds of projects. So for him to know what's going on here is enormously important. And we're really thankful to the great team at Urban Tilth and the incredible community in North Richmond for being able to draw additional eyes from our national leaders here. Oh, and one final fun fact, Congressman McGovern literally at the end of his visit had to rush off. His staff sort of scurried him away. He had to rush off to take a call from the president. I thought that was kind of funny.
Thank you, Robert, for that insight. But I mean, North Richmond is on the move, and just keep this momentum going. A lot of good things are happening, a lot of good leadership, and a lot of good programs are in the community. So we want to keep that momentum going. I don't have anything else on. I'll say, go ahead, Henry.
Yeah, that's good points that were made, but I will say that in terms as I've said before when I spoke at the garden, that historically that area there used to be called the lettuce patch, and it was one of the, from what I've been told, largest area growing lettuce in the whole country. So, so in terms of the historical, the historical points about that particular area, it's got a great history in terms of providing food agriculture for the whole country.
Thank you, Henry.
Cynthia would just like to say that since Henry talked about the lettuce patch, how big of an agricultural area it was, well, also where the Richmond Parkway is, that used to be all flower nurseries and had the biggest flower nurseries and the biggest flower production in the Bay Area. So it's just to let you know that the North Richmond that we grew up in was like farmland. And then most of the houses, people came from the South, they had animals at their house, chickens and maybe rabbits or whatever, ducks, stuff like that. So it was, kind of like country like, but it was good. That's all I have to say. It was good.
Princess, you have your hand up.
Yeah, thank you for a great MAC meeting. So glad to be in space with everybody. Great presentations. I'm glad to hear all the good work that's going on. And glad to hear that everybody's still, sustainable during COVID right now. But yeah, I would just like to say, yes, I'm so proud of the farm. Definitely you guys might hear from me individually reaching out on behalf of Urban Tilth because I've been with the farm for so long. I planted one of the first seeds there. I planted most of the trees that are there in the back now that are fruiting. So I'm so glad to support their media campaign right now. But I wanted to share something from Cooperation Richmond, where I am a project manager and I help local residents develop and launch cooperative enterprises. So if you're looking to start a business, incubate a business or convert a business into a cooperative enterprise, and what that means is just 3 or more owners. Basically, essentially the workers are the owners of the business. And that's what we want to promote, to create a more just and sustainable economy. We are launching our co-op cafe soon on September 23rd. I'm going to share the registration with Robert so that he can share it with the MAC members and everybody, in the community. And just so that if you guys want to share this information with anybody, if you guys know of anybody who is looking to access resources or capital to start their own cooperative enterprise or anything in that nature, please, reach out to me. I'll leave my email here and I'll send that registration to Robert. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Princess. Any other comments before we close?
Just one last comment. I just put in the chat, but we recently were featured in East Bay Times regarding Urban Tilth purchasing the land for the farm. So we're getting close to closing that paperwork, and well, you will hear from us when that happens.
All right. A lot of good stuff. All right. I want to thank everybody for participating in the meeting, another good meeting, and everybody be safe until we come together again. Let's keep the work up. Good job, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you. A productive meeting.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Good evening.